Well, you may have seen me out, but I would never put myself in a position to get hurt or be caught. I would never hold hands or do anything improper in public. So everything I did personally was private. I made sure of that. I won't send a naked picture, a naked video, anything because it may possibly get out, and I didn't want to take that chance back then. Now, who cares? But
DA Brat stood at the center of the stage, trying to steady her breathing. The anger and pain that had been building for weeks finally surged to the surface. Judy's private tape had gone viral, and it felt like everything DA Brat knew had been shattered in an instant. "I never thought I'd be here, sharing this with all of you," DA Brat began, voice thick with emotion. "But the truth has to come out. Judy's betrayal has hurt me in ways I can't even begin to describe. And this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do." She wiped away a tear, gathering her strength before continuing. "It's one thing for a personal moment to be taken from you, but it's another to have it blasted across the world. The private things we shared were never meant to be exposed." The camera zoomed in as DA Brat's voice shook with the weight of what she was about to reveal. DA Brat paused, collecting herself as the weight of the situation began to sink in. "I thought we had something special. Something strong, something real," DA Brat said, voice trembling. "But when I found out about the private tape, when I saw the truth for myself, it felt like everything I had believed in came crashing down." DA Brat's eyes welled up with tears, and she took a shaky breath, trying to stay composed. "I loved Judy. I trusted her with my life. And now, it feels like everything was a lie." She wiped her face and continued, her voice becoming more strained. "I thought I could trust her more than anyone. But when that tape went viral, it wasn't just about betrayal. It was about the trust one had given her, and how she threw it all away." DA Brat's voice cracked as she looked directly at the camera. "The woman I thought I knew was not the person I saw in that tape. And I can't come back from that." The betrayal DA Brat faced went deeper than she could have ever imagined. "The betrayal wasn't just the tape," DA Brat explained, voice growing more emotional. "It was the lies. It was the secrets. Judy made me believe that everything was fine, that nothing was wrong, and then this happened." DA Brat's eyes narrowed in frustration as she spoke. "To have something so personal shared with the world, it's beyond disrespectful. She didn't just cheat on me, she made me part of this public spectacle. She made me a victim in front of millions." Her voice grew more intense as she reflected on how this betrayal shattered her. "I thought I knew Judy. I thought I could trust her. But this is something I never expected." DA Brat shook her head, a mix of sadness and anger filling her voice. "I don't know how to move forward from this. I don't know how to look at her the same way anymore." The moment DA Brat discovered the truth was nothing short of gut-wrenching. It wasn't a moment that just happened. It was a series of things, DA Brat shared. "I saw the signs, the late nights, the secretive behavior, the way she was pulling away from me. But the tape? That's when everything changed." DA Brat's voice faltered as she described the moment she saw the tape. "I didn't go looking for it. It wasn't something I ever expected to see. But when I did, everything clicked. And it broke me." She paused, her expression filled with pain. It wasn't just about the affair. It was about everything that came after it. The secrecy, the lies, the way she pretended like everything was normal. DA Brat wiped her eyes, continuing with a shaky voice. "That moment changed everything. That moment showed me that the trust we built was nothing but an illusion." When DA Brat confronted Judy about the affair, her reaction wasn't anything like what DA Brat had hoped for. She had prepared herself for an honest conversation, hoping that Judy would at least acknowledge the pain she had caused. But instead, Judy's response was far from what DA Brat expected. She didn't even apologize at first, DA Brat shared, her voice rising with frustration as she recalled the initial confrontation. Instead of expressing remorse or taking responsibility for her actions, Judy's first instinct was to deny everything. Instead, she tried to deny everything. "She said I was overreacting, that I was imagining things," DA Brat continued, her disbelief palpable. Judy, the person DA Brat had trusted most, tried to gaslight her, making her feel like she was crazy for confronting her about the affair. But DA Brat knew the truth. She had seen the evidence, and there was no denying what had happened. But I knew. I saw the tape. And I knew, DA Brat said, her voice steady but filled with the hurt of having to confront someone she had loved with such conviction. The painful reality was undeniable, and no amount of denial from Judy could change that. DA Brat's anger was palpable as she described how Judy attempted to justify the affair. She said it wasn't a big deal, that it was a mistake. DA Brat continued, her voice growing sharper. Judy's attempt to downplay the seriousness of the affair was infuriating. For DA Brat, this wasn't just a mistake, it was a deep betrayal. It wasn't something that could be brushed aside or explained away with a half-hearted apology. But it wasn't just a mistake. It was a betrayal, DA Brat said, her words filled with conviction. The emotional impact of Judy's actions wasn't something that could be dismissed with a simple excuse. It was a breach of trust that cut deep, one that would have lasting consequences on their relationship. And no apology could fix that, DA Brat added, her voice filled with the finality of the truth. No matter how sorry Judy seemed, it was clear to DA Brat that the damage had been done, and no words could undo the hurt she had caused. As DA Brat reflected on the emotional weight of Judy's response, she spoke with a mixture of frustration and pain. She didn't own up to what she did. She didn't take responsibility for the pain she caused me, DA Brat shared, her voice filled with sorrow. This was perhaps the most painful part of the entire situation. Judy's failure to fully acknowledge the gravity of her actions. Instead of taking responsibility, Judy's response was defensive, trying to minimize the betrayal and avoid the emotional consequences of her actions. For DA Brat, this lack of accountability hurt more than anything. It wasn't just the affair that had wounded her. It was the way Judy refused to face the truth, the way she tried to evade the responsibility for the pain she had inflicted. And that hurt more than anything, DA Brat said, her voice breaking slightly as she reflected on the depth of the emotional toll Judy's actions had taken on her. DA Brat shook her head, tears threatening to fall as she continued. She tried to make it seem like it wasn't a big deal. But it was. It was everything, she said, the raw emotion in her voice evident. Judy's attempts to downplay the affair felt like another layer of betrayal to DA Brat. How could Judy, the woman she had loved and trusted, diminish the significance of something that had shattered their relationship? It wasn't just about the affair. It was about the emotional devastation that followed. The betrayal wasn't a small thing, something that could be swept under the rug. It was a defining moment that altered everything between them, and Judy's inability to fully recognize that only deepened DA Brat's pain. DA Brat then reflected on how Judy's affair fundamentally changed their relationship, something that could never be repaired. Once the trust is gone, it's impossible to get it back, DA Brat shared, her voice filled with the sorrow of knowing that the bond they once had was forever altered. Trust, which had been the foundation of their relationship, was shattered, and nothing could bring it back. That's what happened between us, DA Brat continued. The affair and the subsequent lies had broken the trust that had been the cornerstone of their connection. No matter how much they both wanted to move past it, DA Brat understood that the damage was too deep for them to recover from. The relationship we had was built on trust, and once that trust was shattered, nothing could fix it. It was a truth that DA Brat had come to accept, even though it was incredibly painful. Their relationship could never go back to what it once was, and DA Brat knew that trying to force it would only lead to more heartbreak. DA Brat's expression hardened as she spoke about the emotional toll the affair had taken on her. Every time I looked at her, all I saw was the woman who betrayed me, she said, her voice filled with anguish. Every glance at Judy reminded DA Brat of the betrayal, of the lies that had come to light, and of the person she had become. Judy had transformed in DA Brat's eyes, from the woman she loved and trusted to the person who had shattered her heart. The woman who made me part of this public spectacle, DA Brat added, bitterness creeping into her words. The affair hadn't just been a private matter. It had become something public, something that others now knew about, something that DA Brat could never forget. And that was another layer of the betrayal that made it so hard to move on. We tried to make it work, DA Brat said, her voice tinged with regret. We tried to pretend everything was fine. But no matter how much they tried to push through the pain, it was clear to DA Brat that the betrayal was always there, hovering between them. But every time we did, the betrayal came back. It was always there, hovering over us, and it kept pulling us apart. The emotional weight of the affair kept them from healing, and DA Brat realized that no matter how much they tried, they couldn't outrun the consequences of what had happened. The affair had created an unbridgeable gap between them, and nothing could fix that. DA Brat sighed deeply as she continued, "I don't know how to move forward with someone who has hurt me like this." Her words were filled with the realization that, despite everything, moving on with Judy was no longer an option. The trust was gone, and so was the love they once shared. The public's response to DA Brat's revelation was overwhelming. Fans flooded social media with messages of support and disbelief over Judy's actions. "DA Brat doesn't deserve this," one fan tweeted. "She's been through so much already. Judy should have never done this to her." Another fan shared their thoughts. "I can't believe Judy would do this to DA Brat. It's heartbreaking to watch." Celebrities also weighed in, expressing their shock and support. "DA Brat is a fighter. She deserves better than this," one celebrity tweeted. "Judy's betrayal is unforgivable. I stand with DA Brat." DA Brat's fans were quick to show their love and support, letting her know she wasn't alone in her pain. Despite the emotional devastation, DA Brat is determined to move forward and heal. "I'm not going to let this define me," DA Brat shared, her voice steady with determination. "I've been through too much to let one person's mistake ruin my life. I'm going to focus on what's important: my peace, my happiness, and my future." DA Brat's resilience shone through as she spoke about her plans for healing. "This is a hard chapter in my life, but it's not the end of my story. I'm going to take the time I need to heal and grow. I know I'll come out stronger on the other side." DA Brat's eyes shone with confidence as she spoke about her journey forward. "I won't let this break me. I'll rise above it, and I'll find peace again." If DA Brat's emotional journey resonated with you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about DA Brat's strength in overcoming this heartbreaking betrayal? We'd love to hear from you.